What's up, YouTubers? Back again with another video. And as you know, Excalibur has taken on quite a few changes, and one of the changes that he has taken on is the new slash dash, the other is the radio blind, and the exalted blade. And as for the slash dash, dash between enemies while slashing with the exalted blade, the gameplay in this is pretty much the same. Looks like it does a lot more damage, and the animation looks a lot better also. As for the radio javelin, it's practically the same as before, just looks better. Radio blind, now with the radio blind, after you blind the enemy, get close enough to your target, you will immediately do an animated finisher move, which is pretty cool. As for exalted blade, it summons a sword of pure light and immense power, as it says. And what it does, it's a melee weapon within the frame, and it has different animations, which pretty much does. It's like having a let me show you here. It's like having a stance already within the frame, which is cool. However, with Excalibur being the first Warframe to come out, which allows us to play the game the way we play it and do everything that we do within the game, which is cool. But this new Excalibur is changing the game, the way that we play it, especially if you're a melee player, or let's just say if you want to use this frame. Now I've taken this frame out in tier 4, 30 to 40 mobile defense on a few occasions, and he lacks in shield capacity. At higher levels, he's still a bit fragile. So, with that said, how do you get around that with this frame? Normally with a melee frame, I normally would probably go with a steel charge, redirection of course, throw in that quick rest, and as well as a rush. These two together work pretty well. However, with stamina leaving, we don't know how fast that stamina recharge will be in the game. We don't know. We don't know if it's going to be a weight system. We don't know if it's going to be a set metered rate at which the stamina recharges. We don't know. However, without the quick rest in there, we may be looking at, let's say, go here, marathon. The marathon's gonna max out our stamina, so we don't know what going to be put into this new system when it comes to stamina. Now we know stamina just doesn't affect melee players alone, but as a melee player, we are heavily dependent on stamina. So with that said, what I decided to do is, instead of going with this type of build, I went ahead and went with this one. And here's the reason why. With melee combat, you're mainly dependent on your melee weapon, so energy is not a factor really, at least for me. So normally with melee combat, you're just depending on your weapon and skill gameplay, how you maneuver your Warframe. Well, now we have a Warframe that has the melee capabilities already within the frame, which is cool. So energy siphon is definitely going to be needed. Redirection, we want to keep that shield up, it's definitely going to be needed. Vitality for that health, definitely going to be needed. Fast deflection, especially with this frame, we're going to need it. Flow, we need to bring up that power max with the energy siphon. Intensity, I threw that on there. If you can see, it's a basic power strength mod, and I threw that on there just for a little bit of strength. And here's the reason why: because I still want to be able to go in between my weapon and the frame. I don't want to be totally dependent on my frame. I also want to be able to use the strength of my weapon. Retribution for that extra protection. Because when you start going in there, especially with 30 and 40, a 30 and 40 level Grenier or certain factions, you're gonna need that extra protection. And so the streamline for the power efficiency, of course, is gonna allow us to be able to use a less amount of power, and the vigor for a little bit more added protection. So I decided to go ahead and go with this build. Of course, this build can change at any given time, but here's the key right here. The key is, it looks like with this particular frame, Excalibur, being revised, revisited, Excalibur 2.0, what's happening is that you're creating a different type of gameplay. And the gameplay is a thinking game. You just don't spam slash dash. You just don't spam radial javelin. Exalted blade is time consumed. So you can use it, but from my gameplay, I've noticed that while in the exalted mode, you can be knocked down. There's certain elements that can happen to you while in that mode, which is good because it doesn't allow you just to stay in that mode. So it's a pro and a con to that. But for the most part, this frame being the first frame and being the first frame of a new beginning type of gameplay causes you to think before you just press the button. Because it's easy just to press the button over and over and over again. That's nothing to do. You can do that in melee gameplay, in any type of gameplay within Warframe. But with this new frame, it's basically saying, look here, you have a certain amount of everything, use it wisely. And so it's going to cause you to think before you actually just press the button. At least that's the concept, and that's what I'm thinking that they're going with the new Excal. Well, hope you guys enjoyed the video. This video is a bit long because I believe that this is going to be a pattern within Warframe, which is going to allow players to really cultivate their skills and move in the direction of being what the devs may consider a true Warframe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for more videos. Thanks for watching. Hit that like button or leave your comments below. And what do you think about the new concept of no stamina and the new concept of parkour 2.0? It's going to change the way we play the game. And so with that said, this is Joshua Timing. Always remember, keep God first, and I'll see you again in Warframe. I'm out. Peace.